We had that Vicious Circle, Vicious Summer stream on Friday. And sitting, the first thing we did, we played the game first, and then the first activity was outside. And I think it like wiped everyone out.
Yeah, they navigated away from outside really quickly. And Jack was like, I can't go back out there. I can't do it. And I was like, I don't blame you, buddy.
Yeah,
You're not meant to be outside in general with your skin. But
did you see?
Poor Chad. He's like, I didn't know he'd be outside. Didn't wear sunscreen today.
Steve and Joe absolutely nailed those nug tosses.
That was just unbelievable.
I
feel like surely they must be practicing.
I feel like those guys have like weird human skills.
Yeah.
Like there's some people kind of like Jack, how it's like non-athletic abilities, but just like these skills. Like he's like fucking good at, what's that game? Air hockey?
Yeah.
And shit like that, and poker.
That was
Poker's not really the same category.
Good at useless stuff. That was really cool on a personal level to see Joe here, because Barats and Beretta was like hugely influential to Rooster Teeth.
Lindsay was asking me, she was like, well, which one's Steve and which one's Joe? And I was like, that one's Steve, that one's Joe. Never seen Barats and Beretta? She's like, oh, I love Barats and Beretta. I was like, that's Joe Beretta. She was like,
I know. It was so crazy because like I was even telling Gavin, I don't think you were there, but one of the early big fights we had, it wasn't a huge fight, but me, Matt, and Bernie got into a fight because Bernie left for a little while. This was downtown Buda, and Matt and I were making an episode, and we were way behind, and we took like a break to watch an episode of Barats and Beretta, and Bernie came in right while we were watching it, and he was really mad, and we all got into like this big yelling match between the three of us about whether we were being lazy or not.
Why was I not there?
Because we were working. I don't know. I don't know why you weren't there.
If Matt was there, I definitely would have been.
No, I know. It was like around season 4 of RVB. So maybe you were out of town.
I might have been at a.
It was like I remember it being like late on a Friday night.
Season 4. Maybe I was with Jason like at a convention. Or
you might have been. You might have been like, because it would have been probably 10 p.m. on a Friday night. So you might have been. Yeah.
Had he asked you to do something? Or
I don't remember the specifics of it. That's part of why I didn't want to tell Joe. I want to run down Bernie or Matt and see if they remember it. I just remember it being a really funny moment. And it was just really cool and gratifying. One of those things where it's like something that you were a fan of in early days that now suddenly your paths cross as peers almost. And
they were so immensely successful right at the beginning of YouTube.
Too soon.
Yeah,
we talked about this.
Yeah.
Were you here? Well, we talked about this with Bernie like last week or the week before.
Oh, really?
I think it was on Game Time. About people who were big like right as YouTube started, and then like didn't get caught up in that wave of YouTube. Like people who were really big before YouTube was acquired by Google, and then just kind of.
But a lot of them did really well behind the scenes on their own. Like, you remember Fred Figglesworth? He actually had quite a career off of YouTube.
Oh, Fred.
He had a bunch of those TV shows on Nickelodeon. I think I read about him a while back. He made a boatload of money and did really well post YouTube.
Wasn't Phil DeFranco one of the first YouTubers too? Or I guess first big successful YouTubers, because he's still going real strong.
When I think of like early ones, I think of like Justine.
I think of Justine.
And she's
I
still
think
going.
of Shaytards. I think of like.
What about Jenna Marbles?
Yeah.
She was pretty early on. She still has one of the most popular channels to date.
Grace was very early. Harley, like Epic Mealtime. I remember being one of the first.
I feel like they weren't immediate. Like they weren't.
Wasn't immediate,
early,
but it was like it was pretty early on.
Well, I think of like when we went to that YouTube meetup at San Diego Comic-Con. Remember all those years ago?
Oh, Hot for Words.
Hot for Words, and like who was it? Like who else was there? Like all those people that were there, like that
Mystery
group.
Guitar Man, and like those guys, right?
Mystery Guitar Man is directing movies now.
Yeah,
with like real people in them.
That's crazy.
I don't want to call this person out, but during I won't call them out, but during the live stream, Troy Baker was here. And
I've still never met him.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
Me, I would have introduced you.
I mean, I would love to meet him. He seems like a lovely dude.
He's lovely.
I'm not good at introducing myself to people.
I'm terrible at it. Yeah.
Or putting myself in a position where I can be introduced. I just run the other way.
Okay.
Gus and I are shy. We don't.
I'll force it on you next time.
We don't want to impose on anybody, and
But he was here for the live stream, but he had to leave early to catch a flight. And there was a girl I was talking to, and this is a very sweet, kind girl. And he left, and she's like, what was his name again? And I was like, Troy? She goes, Troy. And I was like, yeah, Troy Baker. And she went, are you fucking kidding me? Because he was wearing a retro replay shirt.
Yeah.
And apparently she had asked him, she's like, so what's your involvement in all this? And he went, oh, I make this show. And she's like, oh, cool, nice. Not familiar, but that's awesome.
That was nice of him to say that, though.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, retro replay.
Yeah.
Repping his thing.
And she just felt so bad after. And I was like, I'm sure it's okay. He's not really the kind of guy to be like, she didn't know who I was.
It's funny, dude.
I thought that event went really well, and everybody seemed to have a genuinely good time, and there was no... It was like... I hesitate to put it in the same category as the spring break and the family reunion because it was kind of a different gig, but it
Felt different.
felt different. But it was more similar to the Let's Play party we had in England last year.
Didn't care.
You didn't do that one? Yeah. It was good. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had
good to see
a
all those
really
people.
good time off camera as well. Like just chatting to everyone and shooting the shit.
Yeah, I had a really fun time watching. For whatever reason, James and Adam were just being so fucking funny throughout the day and the night, and I just watched them from the other
They
side.
were like hiding.
when they were hiding in the ferns and stuff
Yeah.
for a long time.
Michael decided to put blue all around his mouth, and my favorite thing was just watching Fiona
Yes.
try and keep a straight. Like every time Fiona glanced at Michael, she would just start tearing
I
up.
know,
from
dude.
laughter.
I
Well,
know.
there was one part where she was looking at him and laughing, and I was like, "What's going on?" And she just pointed at Michael, and Michael was just like,
It was-
he did that thing where his chin gets sunken into
Yeah.
his neck, and it was just
My girlfriend actually made a little GIF. I'll show you later, or an image that was. Have you ever seen that shitters full meme with the little girl with the?
yeah,
She remade it with Michael. It looks fucking great.
oh, fucking gross. You guys trying to get in the balloons was like my favorite part of the entire stream.
Yeah, I don't know why they cut all the necks off him.
Did they?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know if that would have helped you guys.
I feel like I've shoved Dan into like 50 balloons. We never cut the necks off
Yeah,
because they kept just going deflating immediately.
I don't know if you caught any of the stream.
driving, no.
But they did it at Extra Life when they got in these giant balloons and like did a race where they hopped across the place to do something. They couldn't get a single person in.
It went very wrong. With probably 40 minutes of trying, we got Christina in.
I saw Christina get in, then it burst and start choking her.
I was legitimately terrified for her.
That's why you cut the necks off.
We did have a medic here though. So.
Yeah, I saw that part as one of the highlights.